Repeal of same-sex marriage as Tennessee GOP undermines right and backed by major corporations. A story of 24 Tennessee Republican lawmakers recently introduced a bill that would offer a legal alternative to a marriage called Record of Marital Contract at Common Law.
Woof.
Just follow along. The change is intended to block same-sex marriages in the state by redefining legal unions. This change has some surprising corporate financial backers, including Amazon, Comcast, and Cigna. The bill is meant to block court decisions that have defined marriage and requires Congress to define it. And several opponents have pointed out that this counters a 2018 law that restricts marriage in the state to adults of 17 years of age or older, causing the bill's sponsors to propose an amendment that includes age restrictions.
Well, this is again Republicans searching for a problem that doesn't exist, and this is obviously a push to try to overturn the marriage equality ruling by bringing this to the Supreme Court if this gets fought in the courts. And they know that the courts, even with the appointment of Ketanji Brown, is still weighted in favor of conservatives. So again, warning to all of our people out there, go out and vote so these people don't get elected and they can't pass these bills.
Yeah, right. Midterm elections are coming, right?
Midterms, yeah. I think we talked before about what this law would actually do is it would basically minimize the current law for marriage commitments and create a new supersize that only a man and a woman can be legally recognized as marriage, and it's no longer a religious ceremony, but it takes its place. You know, and how's that going to travel on to the rest of Republican states like ours led here in Florida or in Texas as this takes any traction, and then what does it do when it gets to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, so Republicans are spending their time creating distinctions just to create, again, discrimination. And, you know, because I'm in food and I've been in food for a long time, 1 in 6 children go to bed hungry every single night in this country. Yeah. So when we're talking about ending, you know, legally, marriage equality, I talk about let's end hunger.
And I think that's important. We have refocused. These stories come up and they distract us from things that we could be doing, like solving hunger, like solving homelessness, mental disease, and things like that.
I mean, they have basically it's a race to the bottom with GOP across the country. I mean, creating manufacturer outrage for non-issues, and like I said, it's just they have no platform. So it's just like it's what you mentioned, Jeff. Like they're trying to create a court case precedent for it, but it's a race to the bottom, depraved, disgusting.
I think what will be interesting to see is that they named 3 companies that are major corporations that they say support. You know, what will their stance be? Like we just saw with the Disney and Don't Say Gay bill. These organizations have been these organizations have been giving money to these lawmakers so they can get what they want out of the state. Will they back down now? Not want to be associated? You know, how will they react, and what will we see as a result?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we know Tennessee is represented by the wonderful Marsha Blackburn, who made a fool of herself during the Ketanji Brown hearings.
Oh my God.
And so again, these are people that are, you know, they're playing to their audience with these bills. And yes, I do hope corporations see what's happening and pull funding from these lawmakers.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+